So as you're breathing, I just want you to notice how your body's feeling today and see if as you're breathing you can feel what's happening in your body. And people mention low backs and hips and neck, and so you're just feeling into how your body's feeling right now. And then we're going to start with some circles when you're ready. So you've set your intention, you notice how you feel and how you want to feel after class, and then we'll start rolling through the body. So this gives us more information, and then you're going to pause and go in the other direction. And then again, stop for a moment. We're going to stretch out the legs. And if you find that your back is really rounded here, you might sit upon something. And then I just want you to inhale up and exhale, slide down your leg. And you're kind of checking out those side bodies and your hips. You might feel the hips a little bit here. And after you finish your second side, you're going to pause for a moment, and then we're going to take the right hand onto the left leg. And again, you're going to inhale up and exhale, slide down. And we're going to stay on the same side. And just do it a few times with your breath, and you're noticing again what you feel as you slide down. And when you come up this time, we'll switch sides. And you might notice there's a little shift when we use the opposite arm as we're sliding. So again, just, 3 times or so, and when you come up, we'll come to the center. Now here, without using your hands, you might put your hands on your hips. We're gonna inhale up, and exhale, take your heart forward. So don't drop your head down, but just bring your heart forward. And as we, switch to the different positions, you're noticing how that feels in your body. And then we're going to slide the legs together and bend the knees and put your feet flat on the floor. And if you have sore wrists, you could be on your elbows here. And what I want you to do, your feet are about hip width apart. You're just going to lift up your hips and your head. Don't drop your head back. Just keep your vision forward. And you're going to inhale up and exhale down. Again, just looking for information as we move. And then I want you to look at your left hand. Your right hand is wherever it helps you balance. And you're going to inhale up and exhale back, staying with the same side. And your eyes are tracking your hand. You're kind of checking out that neck and shoulder. Not forcing anything, of course. And when your hand comes down this time, we're going to switch to the second side. Do this one more time. And when your hand comes back this time, let's roll through those shoulders. So inhale them up towards your ears, exhale, let them slide down your back body. And then we're going to find our handy tennis balls. And if you're watching later and you don't have tennis balls, you can massage with your hands. But what I want you to do, you all know this, you're going to bend your knees, your butt stays on the floor, and you're going to press those tennis balls in. And then stretch out your legs a little bit, and you might keep a little bend, and you're going to move front to back with your pelvis, like side to side. Can you feel that you're kind of like trying to connect where your muscles come into the pelvis and loosen them up a little bit? And you might go side to side or front to back. It shouldn't hurt. I'll just say that, right? Now let's take one of the tennis balls, and you're gonna, again, lift up. So you're not gonna sit on it, right? You're going for the center of your glute. And then you're gonna come down onto that side. And some of you might sit up and just come into that tennis ball. Some of you will come down onto your elbow, and I like to press my elbow into the floor to help control how much weight is pressing into the tennis ball. And remember, like, if you're cringing because it hurts, I want you to back off. As we're going through this, we want the breath to be nice and smooth. So if you find yourself, you're like, ugh, and holding your breath, then you're probably tightening up those muscles more. I could stay here for a while. Like, it's really good. All right. Even though I want to stay longer, we're going to do the second side. And again, you might just roll over into the side. You might make your way down onto your elbow. And like for me, I noticed right away there's a big difference from left to right. And you're still breathing and you're noticing, like, all throughout the practice, see if you can keep your breath nice and smooth, whether we're balancing or stretching. Still breathing those long, smooth, gentle breaths. Now we're going to come to a place where we're sitting up. Last thing we'll do with the tennis balls for now is you're going to sit yourself up and place those tennis balls. So again, your butt stays on the floor and you're just pressing the tennis balls into your low back and leaning into them. And you control how deeply you go and how it feels in your body. And then you might move your knees from side to side. And obviously, some of you talked about your low back, like it's really tender. I want you to back off a little bit, meaning lift up your body and don't put as much pressure into those tennis balls. And again, still paying attention to the breath. And it's always fun to explore. So like anytime, you're sitting home and you want to start to stretch out your hip, this is a really nice way to begin. Now we're going to set those tennis balls off to the side. And you'll notice I have a chair here today. If you're at home, you could use like the sofa or, whatever you have handy. And you could also do it without a chair. And if you're on a hard surface, you might want a little blanket underneath. So I'm going to set up so that I'm kneeling next to the chair and my hand can rest on the chair. And then we're going to stretch out the opposite leg. And just, find a place so your body is upright, your body's over your supporting leg, and then you have one hand on the chair. We're going to stretch the other arm up, and you're going to move at your own, you always move at your own pace and depth. So inhale, we're going to reach over, and your hand might come to the top of the chair or not, and exhale, come up. And again, just moving with your breath, nice gentle stretch. And you're noticing your balance. We're pressing the stretched out leg foot into the floor. We're going to do it one more time. Now we're going to come over, and you might come onto your elbow. We're going to hold on to the chair or keep your hand up in the air. You're going to flex that bottom foot, and we're going to lift it up. And you're just moving with your breath, and you're paying attention to what you feel in your body. Don't force it. Just moving that leg up and down. And I know it's a lot of work. Some of you might be saying, this is a lot of work. And we're going to take that foot down, bend the knee, and then switch sides. So you may have to turn around. I'm just scooting my chair over to the other side. Keeping your body upright, stretching out the other leg, taking your arm up. And again, inhale as you reach over, and exhale, come up. So we get lots of information while we're here, and you're just moving with your breath. There's no rush. We're going to do one more. And again, you might come down onto your elbow, you might extend the arm out to the side or hold on to the chair. Find that comfortable place, and then we're going to disconnect that foot from the floor and lift it and bring it back down. And try not to rush it, just move in a way that feels okay for your body. And one more time, and then we'll come up, and we're going to be in a kneeling position. And you might move that chair out of the way so you don't hit it. We're not done with it for today, but for now we are. Okay, and you might have a block down here in front of you, or you might come down to the floor. You're going to inhale up, both arms next to the ears, and exhale, come down towards the ground. And just move with your breath. Inhale up, extend those arms. Exhale, head towards the block or the floor. No rush. We're going to do one more after this one. And when we come down this time, let's stay down here. You might be on the block or the floor. We're going to stretch the arms out and come up onto your fingertips. So you're reaching your arms and your shoulders towards the sky. Your fingertips are on the ground and your head is on the floor or on the block. We're just going to breathe here for a couple of breaths. Then, when you feel ready, you're going to walk those hands in, come up off of the block, and let's step your left foot forward and slide that right knee back so it's behind your hip. We're going to pause here for a moment. You want to make sure that front knee is over your ankle. And you could have, blocks under your hands if your hands don't come to the floor. And you're just breathing and noticing how you feel. And when you feel ready to move, you're going to straighten that front leg. You're going to keep your butt off your heel, so you're not going to sit down. Flex that foot to the best of your ability. And then you might move your body up and down. Inhale, body up. Exhale, towards the leg. And you're noticing as you do this, how your body feels. And you could, not move. And then you might want to move from front to back. So you're exploring what your body needs right now. Right, up and down with your body, holding one position or the other, or moving back and forth. We're going to take about, another 2 breaths, and then we're going to switch to the second side. So next time that front knee is bent, we're going to take that leg back and bring the other leg forward. And again, we'll start by, setting ourselves up, front knee over the ankle, back knee behind the hip, and holding the position. And you all know, but when we hold the position, you keep your breath moving. Just noticing, and whenever you're ready, you're going to straighten that front leg, come onto your heel, flex the foot, and possibly inhale, body up, exhale, body towards that leg. And again, when you feel complete with this movement, be choosing this, you might start to move front to back. And remember that the practice is meant to work for you, right? You don't fit yourself into what we're doing, you fit the practice to you. So again, we're going to take a couple more breaths here. So figuring out, how you want to finish this part. And then we're going to end with the front knee bent, come up onto those back toes, and we're going to step that back foot forward. And now we're in a forward bend. Your feet are about hip width apart. And we're just going to inhale halfway up and exhale into our forward bend. And your legs can be straight or bent. Now, we're still in our forward bend, I know. Some of you might like to have blocks in front. We're going to take the left foot to center, and you're going to start to lift that right leg up, and the foot is flexed, and you're just going to move that leg up and down. Again, with your breath, you're in control. Try to keep your pelvis level, so we're not opening up that hip yet. And then next time your foot comes down, we're going to bring the right foot to center and do that same thing with the left leg. You're just noticing and breathing. And then one more time, and then we're going to take the foot down to the ground, slide your hands onto your legs, and inhale, come on up. All right. And then once you get yourself up, let's find a tennis ball, if you have one, and you're going to roll through your foot. If you don't have a tennis ball, you can bend through the top part of the foot and stretch it out, or you're just going to roll on the tennis ball because it feels good, hopefully. And again, lots of information, like where does there feel like sensation or congestion in your foot, and you're breathing. And we're going to switch to the second foot. And when we're done with this side, you're going to put the tennis ball off to a safe place. And since we have chairs here, you could use the chair. We're going to do a little bit of balancing. And so what I want you to do, take your weight in your left foot, and we're just going to lift the right knee up with the foot flexed. Bring your arms into a comfortable, safe space. And then you're going to open that leg out to the side and bring it back in. So you're just isolating that one leg. You're breathing. And when you come back to the center, we're going to take that foot down. Make sure that you're still breathing. Weight into the right foot, left knee comes up. Hands in a way that support you. And start to open and close that knee. You're just noticing, how's that body working today? And you're breathing. One more time. And then we're going to take your right leg and you're going to bend that heel towards your buttock, right? And you're just going to lift it up, right? I know a lot of times we grab onto it, but I just want you to move it. And then we're going to take that foot down and do the second side. And how's it feeling today? Now we're going to go back to the first side, and this time we are going to reach for the ankle. Right, so I have the chair in front of me. You can use a wall. You can be out in the center of the room with your arm extended. And now what I want you to do is just move that knee front to back. And remember, if your hand doesn't come to your ankle, you just grab onto the strap and wrap it around the ankle and hold on to the strap. Now, one of these times we're going to stop with that knee behind your standing leg, but not out to the side, right? And then you're going to press the ankle into your hand and make some space. And then possibly, if you can keep that space, you're going to start to bring your heart towards the floor. And you're breathing and focusing and noticing how you feel. And then on an inhale, let's come up. We're going to release that foot. And then what I want you to do, we're going to inhale those arms up and exhale into a little chair. And we're not going for depth here, we're going for countering that pose and coming back to our center. Inhale up, exhale in. Then we're going to go for the second side. So again, at first you're going to reach for the ankle. Keep that bent knee close to your standing leg. We're going to start to move that knee front to back. And eventually, we're going to keep the knee behind the standing leg and start to press the ankle into the hand, using your right arm for balance. So extending it forward and then possibly taking your heart towards the ground. Keep breathing. Keep pressing the ankle away from your buttock so you're really stretching your quad, the front of the thigh here. And again, when you start to feel complete, you're going to release that ankle. Take your hands onto your thighs this time. Inhale up and exhale, slide all the way down. So inhaling up, exhale, sliding down. And you're checking out, how's that low back feel? How is your breath moving? One more time. Okay. Now we're going to do a pose that we do in different ways sometimes. Today, since we have the chairs, we're going to use it. Okay. So what I want you to do is you're going to have the chair off to your right side in the front, and you always want the legs of the chair. Usually we say all four of the legs on the mat when we're standing up, right? So what we're going to do, you're facing the side of the chair, and you're going to come down and place your hands on the seat. And then we're going to extend the left leg up to hip height. And this is where it's going to get interesting. We're going to take that left hand and we're going to start to pivot the body and the leg open. So we're doing Ardha Chandrasana with the chair, half moon. Keep breathing. Pressing with that extended leg so the foot's flexed just like you're standing on it. And then your vision is towards the chair, out in front of you, or up towards your hand. Beautiful. And then bring that hand back down to the chair. Close your hips and your shoulders. Foot comes down to the ground. And then we're going to do the second side. So again, you start with your hands on the chair. Left foot is on the ground. You're going to extend the right leg. And find your focus, your balance first, and then you're going to start to open up, chest and hips, foot's flexed, and you find a place for your head. Beautiful. It's kind of nice doing this pose with the chair. And again, we're going to carefully bring your hand down, close your hips and shoulders, and then we're going to have a seat on our chair. Like, oh, this is different. Now from here, what I want you to do, your feet are wide, so wider than the chair. You're gonna inhale, body up, exhale, slide down into your forward bend. And just moving with your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. So this is our counter pose, our coming back to the center. Now next time you come up, we're gonna keep the right foot on the ground and you're gonna reach for your flexed foot in the knee and rock it side to side. So you're noticing like, how's that hip doing, right? And then we're gonna cross over the top of the right knee. And you're gonna press one hand on that flexed foot and one hand on your knee. And I want you to feel how it feels in your hip when you press your hands. So let go if you don't notice, right? And then press in and see how it feels. And again, holding on to this leg, we're gonna inhale, body up, exhale towards your bent leg. And for some of us, this could be a teeny tiny movement. So not forcing anything. And you might be wondering, why have you pressed? So this gives us some stability. And it also, you might feel the femur head connect into your pelvis a little bit differently. So next time you come up, we're gonna uncross the legs. How's everybody doing? Just checking in. And we're gonna lift up your right leg. And again, the foot's flexed, and we're just rocking that leg side to side. And most of you have done this before. A lot of times we do it when we're sitting on the floor. And again, eventually we're going to cross that right ankle over the top of the left knee, and you're gonna press into the center. So I notice, like I can feel it right down into my hip as soon as I start pressing. And then we're gonna inhale up and exhale towards that leg. And you're taking in all this information. And remember that we're coming forward with the heart, not the head. So the back, maintains its natural curves, but we're not rounding that upper back. And one more time. And then come on up. And we're going to undo our feet. And we haven't done these in a really long time. So you can do standing chair if you don't want to do this next one. Okay? So you have your feet on the ground, about as wide as your hips. Your arms are down at the sides. We're gonna inhale, you're gonna come up out of the chair, and exhale, you're gonna tap your butt onto the chair, and then inhale up. I call these touch and goes for like pilots, they stop down. When you're learning how to fly, it's something that you do. Stop down, come back up. But it's not sitting directly into the chair. And if it doesn't work with the arms extended, you could have them on your hips. And this last time, you're gonna safely sit your butt into the chair. What do you think? Not so bad? It's a little bit of work. Now let's take that left hand towards the back of the chair. You're gonna take the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Keep your body nice and tall. We're gonna twist over to the left, and you're still breathing. And then when you're ready, inhale, lengthen that spine, exhale, come back to the center, and then we'll take the second side. Again, your spine is nice and long, you're breathing. Noticing how everything feels in your body. Again, let's inhale, lengthen that spine, exhale, come forward. And now we're not having our knees wide. We're going to have your hands on your thighs. You're going to inhale, reach your chest forward, and exhale, round the back. So now we are out arching and rounding the back. And you're using your hands on your legs to help you. And you're noticing, again, what's happening in the whole spine from your head to your pelvis. One more time. gonna stand up without the chair. So again, we're probably not done. Then when I have them out, I have a tendency to want to use them. So let's make our way towards the front of your mat. You're gonna have a tennis ball close by. We're gonna keep it right over to the side, so when we're down on the ground, you'll be able to grab onto it. So inhale's gonna be up, exhale, you're gonna slide down your legs, take your hands to the floor, bend the knees if you need to, and we're gonna step back with your right foot. So we're in a nice deep lunge, you're gonna stay on those back toes. If it's easier for you, you can pivot that foot, the back foot to the ground. Now we're gonna lift up the heel on your front foot and try to compress it. Put the tennis ball underneath the heel and try to compress it and evenly weight the front and back of the foot. And then you're gonna explore. You might come up onto blocks, you might bring your hand up onto your thigh. Keep pressing and make sure you're safe. You're breathing, you're just noticing you use your core differently when we have that tennis ball under your foot. You might take your hands overhead, you're exploring, and you're breathing. We're going to carefully come down to the ground, take the tennis ball out, bring that back foot forward, and then take your other foot behind you. So again, get yourself set up first. Your feet are still hip width apart, about a leg's distance in length. We're going to place the tennis ball under the heel of the front foot and compress, right? Weight the heel and the toes. And then possibly start to bring your body up. Make sure you're balanced and focused. Find some non-moving spot on the floor to focus on. Keep breathing. You might extend your arms overhead. Keep breathing. And when you feel ready, carefully bring your hands down, take that tennis ball out, step the back foot forward. I know some of you are saying, why did we say balance? Hands onto your legs, inhale halfway up, and exhale back in towards your legs. So you're just breathing and noticing how the body's feeling. And then, some of you might use a block here. You're going to take your feet about as wide as your mat, and you might have your hands on a block or your hands on the floor. You're going to keep your elbows straight here. So press your hands into the ground. Elbows stay straight the whole time. Inhale, legs straight. Exhale, bend the knees, and take your butt towards the floor. So you're just bending through the ankles, the knees, and the hips. You're all doing really well at keeping those elbows straight. I'm kind of excited about that. Now, next time the legs are straight, we're going to take the right hand to center, and you're going to take that left hand off to the side, and you're going to lift it up, follow the hand with your eyes if you can. Exhale, come down, and then do the second side. You're just going to alternate. You could have the knees bent here. You could have a block under your hands. And when you finish your second side, we're going to bend those knees. Take your forearms onto your thighs. And I want you to just find some bit of comfort here. Because then what I want you to do, we're going to come up onto the toes of one foot and then the other. And some of you might want to bring your hands onto your legs. You're finding that comfortable place and you're just moving through the feet. And you're breathing. Now, next time you finish the second side, I want you to explore the possibility of lifting both heels. Right? It might be a little tiny bit, it might be for a millisecond. Place them down on the ground, hands onto your legs, and inhale, slide all the way up. So we're going to make sure nobody's dizzy. And then just roll through your shoulders for a moment. How's everybody doing? Okay. I got a little warm, so I thought, might be me, might be others. Now, here we are. And you're breathing, you're feeling your feet on the ground. What I want you to do, we're going to take the right leg and the left arm, and you're going to lift them up. And then take the second side. And you're just moving with your breath. No rush. One more time. Then we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to go front to back. So you're going to do right leg, left arm, and then the other side. And there's a little pause in the middle before you switch sides, and you're just noticing. All right. And when you finish that second side, again, you might have your chair close by or a wall, or you might not use it at all. Weight's going to be in the right foot. You're going to lift up that left knee and hold it with the opposite hand. Extend that same side, the same knee that's bent. So for me, it's the left arm. And then start to bring your vision towards that back hand. And move your head slowly. It changes your center of gravity. Beautiful. And then the head comes back to center. Your hand comes down, foot comes down. Awesome balance today. Keep breathing. Okay, second side, weight in the left foot. Right knee comes up, you hold it with the left hand. Breathe and focus, extend that right hand behind you. Then possibly start to bring your head back. And again, when you start to feel complete, the head comes back to center, the hand comes down, the foot comes down. And last little standing forward, then inhale up, exhale, slide down. Beautiful. Now we're going to make our way down to the ground, and you're going to have the seat of your chair facing you, and I think for most of us it would be helpful to have a blanket in front of that area, and you're going to have a block close by, right? And you may or may not use all of this stuff. So you're going to sit onto, just choose one side, and that side that you're sitting on is facing the side of the chair, right? And then you're going to take that same side hand either onto the block or up onto the chair, and you're going to stretch that arm overhead, right? So you're finding that place that feels good to you. And you're breathing. And you might, just have your body extended over and not have the arm overhead. If that doesn't work for your body, remember, you make it work for you. Now, when you're ready, you're going to come on up. And then we're going to come into the middle. And this is where you might sit. It's going to depend on your height and the chair height and all of that jazz. You might sit on the blanket. You might sit on the block, and you're going to have you want the shoulder blades to kind of come to the bottom of the shoulder blades to come to the edge of the chair. And I'm holding on to the legs of the chair at first. You need to have your chair on the mat or it's going to slide away. Now here we are. So I'm using the seat of the chair to help press into the back of my rib cage and the bottom of the shoulder blades. And I'm holding on to the legs of the chair. I'm going to release one arm, and I'm going to start to bring my vision back towards the hand as I'm extending it back to the center. We're just doing one arm at first. So inhale is up, exhale, coming back. And remember, it's not supposed to hurt. One more time, then we're going to do the second side. So grab onto the leg of the chair with the hand you were just moving and switch sides. And you're breathing as you move, so make sure that breath is flowing. One more time. And now, and this time, it's important that your chair is connected to the mat because we're going to take the upper body onto the chair and we're going to take both hands onto maybe the seat of the chair. Some of you might still hold on to the legs of the chair. You're finding a position. So it's kind of like a seated back bend. And then some of you might hold your head up and keep your vision forward. Some of you might let the head come back a little bit. Remember that you're finding a position that's comfortable for you. And you're breathing right into that heart center that's hopefully opening up a little bit. We're not going to stay here too long, so when you start to feel ready, you're going to carefully lift up your head and your upper body, release your hands, and you're going to move right into a forward bend with your feet wide, knees are bent. You're noticing how that back body feels. Hopefully there's no discomfort. And then our last chair move is going to be, we're going to come to the second side. Again, you're going to sit down on that hip, and your hand is going to be, or your arm is going to be on the block or on the chair, and we're going to reach over towards the upper part of the chair. And you're breathing. You're not forcing. And on one of your inhales, you're going to come on up. And we are going to make our way onto our back body. So I want you to figure out what's the safest way for you to get down onto your back. And you're going to place your legs up on the chair. So some of you might like a blanket under your hips. Some of you might like a blanket under your legs on the chair. And you're going to make sure that your chair, all four legs of your chair on your mat. And you're going to relax for a moment. And this next one, you're going to decide if it's okay for your body. We're going to take the hands onto the thighs. Inhale is body on the floor. Exhale, you're going to lift up your head and shoulders and slide your hands up your legs. Inhale, slide down. Now, if it doesn't work for your head and neck, you can just slide your hands up and engage the core. Right? So you're going to explore and do what feels good for you always. Moving with your breath. Exhale is up. Inhale is down. And next time that you inhale down to the ground, you're going to pause for a moment and just check in. How's your body feeling? We're going to walk after you check in with your body, we're going to walk the feet down to the edge of the chair. And you're going to stretch that right leg up. And you're going to slide your hands up and down that leg with your breath. So inhale is leg away. Exhale, leg towards your body. Just moving that one leg. And then we're going to release that foot to the chair. We're going to do the other leg. Again, bring it perpendicular to the floor, hands on the leg. Inhale, leg away. Exhale, leg towards your body. One more time. And then just Bend both knees, take them in towards your chest. You might just hold on to them or you might move them in a little circle. If you do the circle, after you go a couple times in one direction, switch directions. Now I have one more thing I want to do here. Now, if you're done, I invite you to set yourself up for Shavasana. If you want to explore one more thing, you're going to want to have that blanket under the seat of the chair, and you're going to walk your butt up towards the edge of the chair. You're going to hold both legs into your hands, and then you're going to place your feet onto the chair seat and lift yourself up. And you want that blanket under your shoulders. And your vision stays towards the ceiling. And you're holding the chair so it doesn't take off from you. Your feet are on the seat of the chair and you're pushing your hips towards the direction of where your head is. You're breathing and you're making sure it's safe and it's comfortable in your body. Now, when you feel ready to come down, you'll walk your feet to the back of the chair a little bit and bring your hips down to the ground. And then you're gonna decide if your body needs anything else, and then you're gonna set yourself up for Shavasana, right? So check in, does your body need anything else? It might need a little forward bend. And then some of you might like to do Shavasana with your legs up on the chair, or you might want to use some bolsters, but you're gonna, again, make sure that you feel ready before you move into Shavasana. How's everybody doing, okay? And then as you start to settle in, I want you to allow your body to just give in to gravity for a moment. Long, smooth, gentle breaths, softening. Imagine any tension in your mind or your body just seeping out into the earth, releasing anything that no longer serves your mind, your body, or your spirit. So start to bring your awareness back to your breath and your body and notice how you're feeling. And as you start to come back to the room, see, ask your body what it needs as you are gently reawakening and see what movements feel really yummy today. That might mean your body wants to stay on the floor. You're going to start to move in whatever way you're called to move. We're going to do a little bit of a different breathing practice today. If you want to try it, we're going to take don't do it until I'm done talking because you don't know if you won't know what I'm saying. You're going to take your thumbs to your ears, gently place the fingers over the eyes. And you're going to close your mouth. And you're going to start to breathe like this. So it kind of takes all your senses out of the picture to some extent. And then you're going to start to breathe in through your nose and you're going to hum like. So you're breathing in through the nose and out really and humming through your mouth. And after your next breath, if you can hear me, you're going to let it go and keep your eyes closed and release your hands. So that's a wonderful breath for a number of different reasons. It vibrates all of your sinuses, right? So it helps to loosen things up. So this time of year, people are getting congested, and so it really helps with that. And then there's that whole vibration of that happening in your head, and it also helps to relax some of the facial muscles. And so notice how you feel after you do something like that. And I know we're doing it for a very short time, and I invite you to practice it more if it's something that feels good. So as you settle in, you're breathing, you're noticing how you're feeling after doing that breath and the practice, thinking about how you're going to move out into the rest of your day. And then let's inhale those arms up towards the sky. Exhale the sound Q to the heart. Inhale the arms out to the sides. Exhale ah to the heart. And inhale, scooping up from the ground, the sound of O to the heart. There we have that yummy M at the end. So thank you all for joining me today. Namaste. Hopefully